Hey y'all, this is Cindy. I'm the Tireless Tangler, and you have arrived at day 56 of the 100 Days of Zentangle Project 2019. Thank you so much for being with me today. Today's tangle is Odir by CZT Sue Schneider. She is the same person that deconstructed the tangle Tipsy that we did earlier in this project. So I'll be excited to explore this one with you guys today. Odir is pronounced oh dear, as in oh dear. I will let you guys read about it on Tangle Patterns. She has a cute story about it. And this one is done in this way on the step out. Start with a loose wavy line. And then in the step out, she has from the apex of each of these curves, whoops, that was a little too far. She has them stretched out, and this is very similar to Tipsy, if I remember my tangles correctly. And I know y'all will correct me if I'm wrong, so please do so. But this does remind me much of Tipsy. In fact, I would say it's almost the same tangle, except that in the gap, well, it's similar, definitely similar. But in the gap on this one, we are going to come out to a point. And this leaves us a variety of things that we can do with embellishing. Auras work really well with this, but this is the basic tangle, the way that it is in the step out. Now I am, of course, going to try my alternate method on this, and that is to, in your blank spot, in each blank spot, or in each, at the top of each valley, if you will, then go ahead and put your little point. And as always, if the other way makes more sense to you, go for it. It's no problem. This just seems to work better for the way my mind works, I guess. Oops, it's a little sloppy. So I put in the little point first, and then connect I'm not sure I did a very good job doing that. But anyway, that's probably the way I'm going to approach it. And even though this is rather a bad example of this, you can see that consistency is going to be easier with this method, at least I think, for me. But you guys give it a try both ways and let me know in comments what you think. One of the variations that Sue has in her step out, a variation on this is going to be to aura your curved line like this, and then, and I'm going to use my method, and then do your connecting in this way. Why? I am not making a good case for the way that I want to do this, am I? Let's try it this way. It's just that when I get the camera angle right, I don't want to be turning a tile or a page because then the angles for everything are different, if you see what I mean. So now if you do this version, it is fun to put little inner auras in this fashion, or you can just leave that middle section. this pattern, as with Tipsy, leaves lots and lots of room for explorations, I think. Isn't that fun? I mean, you could even sort of do fan lines in here. You could also do contour lines following the curve of the bottom. That's going to be more consistent, at least for me. You could do, gosh, so many things spring to mind. I was thinking Knightsbridge might be fun in here because you can play so easily with the shapes of those. I really don't want to take the time to ink it, which is why I hesitated. Let's do and see if it works. I mean, we won't do a careful job, but we'll get an idea of where we're going here. Oops, whoops, whoops, whoops. I lost my way here, guys. Anyway, you get the idea. You could also tipple in here. You could black it, which would actually be a cool effect. You could black the auras in between and around. I bet that would look cool. So you guys give it a shot. Let me know where you're at, and I can't wait to see what you come up with. Okay, let's get it in the pattern. So beginning with our inner auras. All right, and Odir starts with the curvy line. And as with most of these, I think I'm going to go on the diagonal, so I have a little bit more room to play with it. And I do think I'm going to do that double aura. Okay, and so here's my next aura. Take your time drawing these, you're not in a hurry. Like that, okay. And so I am going to turn this so it just doesn't end up too badly. And bring my points carefully up, except that's not going to have much room. That's okay though. And I'll start that one. And have a bit of this one too. Let's let Simba get done wiggling. Now carefully connect them. Hopefully a lot more carefully than I did before. And I think these are pretty if you put a little curve in it. Of course, down here in these patterns, there's not a lot of room. I'm going to double the line here on the insides. And I'm going to black them, because I think that's going to look cool. I believe she also had a version of this with that torn screen. You guys correct me if you know the correct name for that. I'm sure that's not it. That pattern that looks like a screen door with a hole in it. You know what I'm talking about? Or a window screen with a hole. Well, I'm sure some of you guys know what I'm talking about, some of you guys don't. Oops. Luckily, I'm blacking that in. All things work together for good. It's certainly true about Zentangle. Alright, let's do this. Get out of my shot here a little bit. I am learning to start taking my time more when I work in these in this pattern. The space is so small that accidents happen so easily, and it's not that I'm against accidental adventures, such as I had with Lisette Hofer's Pero, but and that did turn out okay, although I really don't recognize the pattern in there. It worked out all right. Those explorations are fine, but I love working in within the structured pattern too. There's a freedom to that type of exploration that is absent in a lot of other things. It's like you can be creative, but within confines. So, this is fun, but it definitely needs something. I think I'm going to do, or this torn screen thing, whatever it happens to be. And then, whoops, I outsmarted myself here, didn't I? Yes, you did. Alright, so I'm going to put my tear right here. Put another one there. And do that one through. And then when we come this way, I will try to fit in some gaps in the same general areas. I love this fill pattern. It's so fun. And you love how that looks. So I'm going to attempt, and I'm just gridding this according to the existing shape that's here. I'm going ahead and curving. Oops, I completely forgot my hold on that, didn't I? Which isn't the end of the world. That one ended up being a lot looser. That's okay. Let's be more careful here. And work smaller, Cindy. There, that's how we're supposed to start. That one's better. Still not great, but okay. All right, let's do one more. I do like that effect. I feel like I could do a lot more exploring with this. And for some reason, I am not connecting with this screen fill here today. I'm going to try to save it a little bit. I just can't seem to get it together. Now, this definitely needs something on the outside. So, I think I'm going to finish this off with an aura on the outside. Okay, and what do I want for the other part? I got nothing today. Usually I would just continue my auras because that's what my... Ooh, you know what I'm going to do? Diva dance. I'm going to diva dance this baby. guess that's where my next thing is going to be, huh? And put one here. Nice. Having the light. I don't know. Well, that's interesting. Don't mind it. Let's see what we can do on the other side. Let's maybe be a little more subtle with these. See. Let me know what you think of that. I don't mind it. It's not bad. All right. Let's see what I'm going to do for shading on this. You're going to want to focus your shading on the insides of these little cup shapes or bowl shapes, whatever you want to call these little C's. And just add graphite along the bottom of those. And you will emphasize the depth like that. Try to remember to avoid the black with your graphite, so you don't get that shiny quality that I'm clearly getting here. And I think on Diva Dance, instead of, whoops, I should have Diva'd over here a little bit. Sort of left a corner boring. All right, that's close enough. So I think maybe what I will do instead of what I would normally do with Diva Dance is sort of shade the dips and curves in this to sort of give it a little individuality. But I think since I want to highlight this pattern, I think I'm going to add my graphite on the outside of this clear aura and see how that ends up looking. Just to sort of drop the Diva Dance back and emphasize this pattern in the middle. Well, I'm not really excited about this one in particular, but overall, it's not a bad look, and it's kind of, it's pretty dramatic with the black. I don't hate it. So sometimes that's a win, right, guys? Sometimes not hating it is definitely a win. All right, let me see if I can get a good shot of this. Oh, guys, this is looking so good, isn't it? Don't you guys, aren't you guys proud of your creations? These are awesome. Awesome. That's it for day 56 of the 100 Days of Zentangle project 2019. Thank you so much for being with me. Catch some of the other videos as you have time, and I will see all of you tomorrow.